Assalamu alaikum. Upcoming class alert. Upcoming class alert. Yeah, you heard right. We got an upcoming class alert taught by Ustada Laila Nasheeba. So stay close, because listen, it's going to be good. This series is the series on the jinn. Please, you're going to want to listen and take some notes. Streaming on all major platforms. Once again, taught by Ustada Laila Nasheeba. Streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnah followers.
What's going on YouTube? They said they got problems on YouTube. Who's on YouTube in here? What's the problem with YouTube, guys? What did they show on YouTube? Y'all watching the game. You old women, y'all need to get off the television. Oh, God. Women, y'all need to get off the television. It's fine, or if y'all got problems on YouTube, Telegram and stuff is good. I hear me on Telegram. It's fine, or if y'all got problems on YouTube, Telegram and stuff is good. I hear me on Telegram. What you mean blackout? What does she mean blackout on YouTube? Let me put myself on there, because ain't nobody. The people in my Zoom room, these women are crazy. They into that kafir stuff.
Fine, I'm on YouTube, and it's pictures.
You don't see me blacked out? She typed that I'm blacked out on YouTube. Am I blacked out? Let me see. Let me go on YouTube. Where is YouTube on my phone? I can't find YouTube now. There it is. Who is this person? Is this a woman or a man? Oh, this dude look like a woman with a hijab on, a astaghfirullah. Who is he? Okay. Wait a minute, get this off of my phone. Okay, let me join my channel. I don't see it. I'm not blacked out. I'm fine on YouTube. Testing, testing, testing. This is YouTube. I don't see it. I'm not blacked out. I'm fine on YouTube. Testing, I don't see it. I'm not blacked out. I'm fine on YouTube. Okay, guys, if y'all having problems, it's your internet connection. It's not Layla's, because I'm watching me on YouTube now. Okay, let's get ready to get started here. This is our story. Wait a minute, let me. Sacred bonds of marriage. We're going to be speaking about respect. Can y'all see that? Yeah, Sister Fatima, they don't, these old women in the Zoom room, can you believe that these old women sitting up here watching some Super Bowl? What women watch a ball game, first of all? Where's your femininity at, Fresno?
The one that got 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 sons.
They watching the Super Bowl and they can tell you all about what team is losing, how they ain't got no points, but they can't answer the questions when I ask here in this Zoom room. Yeah, that's the old women, they busy with the Super Bowl. What kind of stuff is that, man? Okay, let's get started. Inna alhamdulillah. Wassalam Allah wa Rasulullah. Okay, this is our series, The Sacred Bonds of Marriage. The Sacred Bonds of Marriage. And tonight what we're going to discuss is how respect, when it comes to marriage. We talked about how your husband has rights over you and you have rights over him. The husband is to be respected, but that doesn't mean that the woman's not respected too. We're going to talk about that the next time we meet. The women are to be respected and honored, and so are the men in Islam. Islam is Allah is an equal opportunist. He doesn't give too much power to one gender over another. We balance out. Islam is about justice. Islam is about balance. We balance each other out. Okay, but tonight we're going to focus in on the importance of you sisters respecting your husbands. And I want you to understand there's a difference between respect and blindly following someone. Blindly obeying someone. A lot of you sisters have it twisted. You think that whatever your husband tells you to do, you're supposed to do it without question, without thinking. If your husband told you to stand on one foot and bark like a dog, you think you're supposed to go, earth, 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 and do it. That's not Islam. If your husband tells you to stand on one foot and bark like a dog, you tell him, when donkeys fly. In Islam, we say, when donkeys fly. In other words, no way, Jose. Again, we obey our husbands and what Allah commanded us to obey him in. And who can tell me what are the things that Allah commanded all Muslim women to obey her husband in?
Whoever he want me, she has to obey the people that he does not want at his house. Like if he tells you, I don't want your friends at my house, you have to obey him in that sense because that's his property.
What else?
And that's his home.
What else? Because you're married. What are you supposed to obey your husband in? Let's hear it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I respect him if he tells me not to have somebody at my home. And let me think of something else. He doesn't require a lot from, but
can't go nowhere without his permission.
Permission, right?
Right. You need his permission to go somewhere. What else?
To guard in his absence, whatever he have you to guard.
And what does that mean? A lot of these sisters don't know what that means.
You take care of his property, you pay the bills, you take care of the house, you take care of the children, you do all of that.
What else? What about yourself?
To guard your chastity.
Yeah, yourself too. That means you're not going to do anything that's going to embarrass him or shame him. Yes. As the head of the family. Your responsibility is that house. You're going to make sure that the house is clean. The food is cooked. Okay. The children are cared for, because we have some Muslim women. I don't know where they come from, but they think that they're not supposed to cook or clean. I don't know where you women come from, what century and what planet you from. Okay. Or what dunghill are you from? It's your job as a woman to do the cooking, the cleaning, the nurturing of the children, and the nurturing of him. It's your job to nurture him, guarding in his absence what he'd have you guard, and also guarding in his presence, being his rock, being the person that he can turn to for advice, the person he can come to for encouragement, the person that he can talk to and shed his inhibitions with. That's your job. That's guarding. That's your job. Those are the rights that your husband has over you. And that's a lot. But as far as him telling me to stand on my one leg and bark like a dog, I'm going to tell him, when donkeys fly. If he tells me that he doesn't want me to use a dishwasher, I'm going to say, why not? Oh, I want to save money. I'm going to say, well, brother, this is the 21st century. You want to save some money? Ask the Lord to send you back to the caveman days. I'm sorry. You don't make life hard on me. It's enough taking care of your children. It's enough taking care of you. Now you want me to go back to the old days? I ain't from that culture. You know, Allah likes for us to do these according to our capability. I ain't capable of washing dishes by hand. Some of us ain't. I'm not. I can't wash dishes by hand. That ain't me. I got a dishwasher. I grew up with dishwashers. Okay? So that type of stuff is different. We don't have to obey him if he's asking us to do something that'll make life hard for us, that'll make life difficult for you. We don't have to obey him if he's telling you to do something that Allah didn't say I have to do. Allah doesn't say I have to cover my face, so it's not happening. And don't ask me to do it to make you happy, because guess what? Allah says in a beautiful hadith qudsi that anytime a person does something to please him and another person, he don't accept it. Allah is first and foremost, even over you, Aki. So I'm sorry, I ain't covering my face. I don't have to do it. It's a hardship for me. It's ain't happening. But I'll guard in my absence what you have me guard. I'll make sure that you know and everybody else know who this belongs to is you. And I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to shame you. Do you sisters get it? This misconception that people have that Muslim women are depraved, and are servants. That's not Islam. Okay? We just have.
Lord, I know, maybe I took a decision. You'll never get over it. There's pops right there. I know.
Now, what idiot was that? Who was that, guys? I mean, the Fresno?
Yeah.
That figures. You turn the game off. Told y'all these old ladies, they crazy. Yeah. So anyway, exactly. We obey our husbands in what Allah commanded us to obey them in. Okay? And we have to treat our husbands with respect. Why? Because he's the breadwinner. Why? He's the provider. He's the maintainer. He's the one that's going to take the bullet for you and the bullet for the children. So he's deserving of respect. Does everybody understand that? And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Yeah, I know. Let me see. Hold on. Boy, I tell you. Okay, so tonight it's gonna y'all know I'm working these different computers. Put this down, and here, this is the mouse for this. So tonight we're gonna cover chapter 34. Chapter 34 of the book, which speaks about showing respect for our husbands. We're gonna break down and define what respect consists of. So, one of the biggest problems that we are faced with, and I'm going to keep it real, a lot of the brothers who are good brothers, we got some good brothers. Where are the good men? A lot of the sisters ask me, Sister Laila, I want to get married. I can't find a good man. Where are they? Well, either they are already taken or they're dead. It's just that simple. The ones that are already taken. That's one of the signs of the last hour. That's one of the signs of the fitin that will impact us as a ummah when Allah sends that war. The war is already here. One of the fitins is that there's a shortage of men. There's a shortage of men, especially good men. So one man will be responsible for many women because we can't find good men to marry because they're already taken at their limit of 4 apiece. A man is only allowed 4 wives apiece. That's it. Okay? Or they're dead, fighting in the way of Allah. They died struggling in the way of Allah. So the good men that are out there, they have complaints, believe it or not. And one of the main complaints that the good brothers have is that their wives have no respect for them. Oh yeah, I get these calls all the time. Sister Laila, can you talk to my wife? You want to know what the number one thing is? My wife listened to some lecture on the internet and some man said that she doesn't have to cook and that she doesn't have to clean. My wife thinks that it's my job to come home from work and cook for her and clean for her and wash the clothes. That I get about 3 calls or 3 text messages a week from good brothers because their wives are numbskulls. Okay? That ain't his job to do that. So a lot of the good brothers complain about how their wives are disrespectful. I tell my wife to do something. I'm asking her to do something for me, Laila, and she'll say no. And it's nothing hard. It's nothing simple. But she wants me to buy her this. She wants me to take her here, take her there. And I can't ask her to do something as simple as iron my shirt for me. She'll tell me to iron my own shirt. So respect is a big problem that many of the Muslim men today complain about. They show the respect to their wives, but the wives don't show it to them. We have to understand that respect is a pillar to a good, healthy relationship. Not only is the husband to be respected for what he does as provider, maintainer, sustainer, but the wife should be respected too as the mother, as the one that keeps the home organized and together. So this is something that we have to work on as a nation, getting back to the basics of Islam and learning that both spouses are to be respected. Respect in marriage encompasses acknowledging. A lot of people don't know. Now, I'm big on words. What does it mean to show respect to your husband? What does it mean to show respect to your husband? Well, respect is to acknowledge the worth of your husband. Acknowledge the fact that this man gets up every day, even when he's sick. He's out there making money so he can give you and your children a safe, good lifestyle. Recognize his worth, that he has to deal with the outside fitin that exists in the job place. And then look at the fact how he still fulfills his obligations to Allah too. He makes his prayers every day. He makes fajr. He goes to the masjid. Respect entails acknowledging the worth, the dignity, and the authority of your spouse. It also entails valuing their opinion. Your husband's always looking out for your best interest. He's looking out for the kids' best interest. He's trying to protect you. He's very conscious of your feelings. He does everything to try to make you happy, to make things easy for you. Look at how he contributes to the relationship. Even though he works every day, when he's off from work, he'll spend time with the kids. He'll spend time with the kids. He'll take the kids to the park to give you some free time to yourself. So respect entails acknowledging the worth and the dignity and the authority of your spouse. It also entails valuing their opinions, their feelings, and their contributions in the relationship. And how do we show respect? How do we show respect to each other? Well, by communication. Communication is important. How often do you sisters let your husbands know how you feel about them and how you're proud of them and how you appreciate them? One of the reasons why there'll be more women in hell than men is because we're ungrateful. Our husbands, all it takes is them to do one thing wrong, and then we'll throw it in his face and say he never did anything for us. So respect shows itself in how we communicate with each other, also in how we make decisions together and how we behave towards one another. I have one of the new shahadas here. Her whole world evolves around wanting to get married, which is good. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but she's always saying she's afraid of marriage. I told her, you shouldn't be afraid of marriage. Marriage is just something that a legal way that we can coexist with another human being. What you need to be afraid of is yourself. Do you understand what your role is as a wife? Like Sheikh Atlee said in that Q&A this Friday, before you new shahadas jump into marriage, you should be learning about Allah first. Learning how to worship him correctly first, learning how to please him, and then learn what the rules of marriage are. Learn what your role is as a wife. Learn what his role is as a husband. If marriage is all about sticking to the rules that Allah put in effect, it's about cooperating with another human being. Being able to communicate with that person, having the same goals and aspirations in life with that person. It's about you learning you, and then you have to learn that other person. So respect extends beyond compliance and authority. It's an attitude of reverence. It's an attitude of honor and all of that. But you got to know what the roles are first. What your role is as a wife, what his role is as a man, and what your rights are as a woman, what his rights are as a husband. Okay? And also, once you learn what the roles are, then we have to follow the guidance that Allah has put in effect for us, to not belittle each other. To, instead of yelling and arguing, sit down and discuss things. And when we do get angry, learn how to control our temper. Don't demean each other. And don't take your business outside of the home. And this is why a lot of marriages I see end up in divorce, because a lot of you new shahadas, a lot of you are into social media. Look at your Facebook pages. You guys don't have no problem publicizing your personal business on Facebook. That's a terrible habit in Islam, and it's a hard habit to break, because in Islam, one of the rules is what goes on behind closed doors between a man and his wife is their business. It's not to be publicized. And all it takes, I see it all the time, you sisters mess up by going on social media, posting your business. Men don't like that. How can he protect you from the world if the world is aware of everything that's going on? That's what leads to a lot of divorces. Okay? We have to learn to keep what happens between you and me. Between you and me. And if it gets bad, then we bring in one person to represent me and a person to represent you. And we all four sit down together and try to resolve it. It has nothing to do with social media. It ain't nobody's business what's going on with me and my husband. So that's respect. What causes women to transgress and put all that crap on Facebook? They have no respect for themselves, number one, and they have no respect for the husband. So we have to work on respecting ourselves and respecting our spouses, understanding the things we should and shouldn't do. This leads to admiration. This leads to appreciation, and this leads to support. Keeping other people outside of our business and not belittling each other and not demeaning each other. Okay? And again, respect is the cornerstone. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. And due to the wives is similar to what is expected of them, according to what is reasonable. But the men have a degree over them in responsibility and authority, and Allah is exalted in might and wise. This verse of the Quran shows the role of husbands and wives. The man is over us. We have to accept that. He's the head honcho. He's the head of the house. He's the imam. That's why you sisters have to be careful. You don't just jump up and marry people off the internet like y'all are doing. You got to have that man screened by your guardian to make sure that he's worthy of marrying you, because he is the head honcho. What he says go. You can't have anyone in your house unless he approves. You can't go anywhere unless he approves. You can't work because it ain't your job as a Muslim woman to work. It's his job unless he allows it. So again, guys, that's what Allah is saying right there. The men have the degree over us for that reason. So it all begins with choosing the proper type of man. And I'm always saying water seeks its own level. A lot of you sisters looking for righteous men. I'm sorry, you ain't no righteous woman. I'm just going to keep it real. Water seeks its own level. Ain't no righteous man looking to marry no woman. That I'm going to be honest. Righteous men understand what their role is. They know that they're the provider. They're the maintainer. So a righteous man doesn't want his wife to work. He wants his wife to stay home and have children and raise and nurture them and teach them the deen. So he's going to look for a righteous woman who knows her religion, number one. And then he wants a woman that knows her place. Her place is not the workforce. Her place is home. And that's what a lot of you sisters fail to recognize, new shahadas and born Muslims, because a lot of y'all have become like the non-believing women. You want a career. You want to be a career woman. Career women don't exist. I mean, you can have a career, okay, but that ain't your role as a woman. Your career is in that house. So again, we have to understand the roles of husbands and wives according to what Allah says. And also our Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, if a woman prays her 5 daily prayers, she fasts the month of Ramadan, she guards her chastity and obeys her husband, she will be allowed to enter paradise through whatever gate she wishes. This is the hadith that a lot of you misconstrue the meaning. First of all, the prophet is saying this is a woman who fulfills her obligations to Allah, which is praying, fasting, guarding her chastity. This is a woman that obeys her husband in the things Allah commanded her to obey her husband in. That means she's guarding his home. She's raising his children. She's there to support him. She's there to encourage him. She cooks. She cleans. If she's doing that, she can enter paradise by whatever gate she wishes. What does that mean? That means this is a woman who has earned the love of Allah. How does she earn Allah's love? By doing what Allah commanded her to do. And there's also a hadith that speaks about the man. How the man who provides, maintains, protects, and does what Allah tells him to do will be of the high status in paradise. There's another hadith like this for the men. Why? Because again, that man he earned the love and pleasure of Allah by doing what Allah commanded him to do. Nowhere does any of these hadiths mention that you women are supposed to go out and get a job. And why am I talking about this? Because I got a few new shahadas here who don't understand that it ain't their job to work. They don't understand why brothers don't want to marry them. I got two sisters here who are telling me that they've had proposals, that there are two brothers that they've had proposals at their mosques from nice men who want to marry them. But those men ask the imam, does she work? Is she willing to stop working? Because her answer is no, she ain't willing to stop working, they don't want to marry him. So they want to know, Sister Laila, how can a man make me stop working? Yeah, that ain't your job. The simple fact that you want to be a career woman, you're limiting yourself. You're cutting out the men who know what their role is. You're cutting out the men who are willing to do what Allah commanded. So now, what are your prospects going to be? Now you're going to end up with the bums. You're going to end up with the that show I did on the Q&A. You're going to end up with those men that's looking for a woman to provide for them. You're going to end up with the bad brothers now. The bad brothers who don't want to provide, who all they want is a woman, 2, 3, 4. The good brothers know their job. They don't want a career woman. They want a woman that's going to take care of their home and their kids. So I want you new Shahada women to think about that. Ain't no career woman in Islam. Not like that. Okay? That ain't your job. Like we said, learn the roles that Allah of a woman and a man, okay? And also, when we're married, marriage is the beginning that just brings you together. But then you have to work hard to not belittle each other, to not disrespect each other. Belittling or disrespecting your husband can have devastating consequences for you as a woman and for the marriage in general. Because the man is the king. He's the imam. He's the caliph of the household. When you disrespect him, when you belittle him, you're undermining his dignity. You're destroying the trust that's supposed to be there. And you're going to make him resent you. And he'll eventually get rid of you. And again, I cannot emphasize enough the dangers of you women airing your problems to other people. Telling what goes on in your house to your mama, your brothers, your sisters, and your friends. That ain't none of their business. You're going to end up turning your family against him because you got a problem. You angry. Then when you're not angry, You want to know why your parents won't let him come around and all that. You know, what goes on in your house remains there. And by the way, whenever you talk about your personal problems to someone who cannot help you, you're backbiting your husband. I want you sisters to know that. If you call your mother on the phone complaining about how your husband does this and he does that, you're backbiting him. And you're going to answer to Allah for that, because your mother can't help you. If you got some serious problems, you go to a person that can help, a person that can talk to your husband and who he'll respect and accept advice from. That's why I have a problem. And I'm going to say this. I got a problem with these Muslim women on the internet that call themselves marriage counselors. How the heck can you be a marriage counselor to my husband? Are you out your mind? All you want to do is get in another woman's business to make yourself feel superior because your marriage is a failure. Everybody got time for that. The marriage counselor for the Muslim is the imam of the mosque. An imam, which is a man who specializes in marriage and divorce, not some female. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all need to cut that out. Y'all going to these women who are just nosy vagabonds, telling your personal business. Oh, I'm a counselor. I have a PhD in marriage. Girl, take your PhD somewhere. Show me one hadith where the female companions sat around giving marital advice to a man and his wife. That ain't our job. Okay? So you sisters need to stop that. Oh, she's a marriage counselor. No, she's a busybody trying to get in your business and make hassle on your marriage. Because deep down inside, she may pretend to be happy, but believe you me, her marriage is a failure. Come on, I'm a woman. I know. I got a degree in psychology too. Hello, it's a game. All right. So why does Islam teach us to respect our husband? Just like it teaches us to respect our wives too. But tonight we're going to speak about why we should respect our husbands. Number one, it helps keep the marriage in harmony. It also helps the love to grow. The love to grow. You may marry somebody that you're really not in love with. Okay? That's the difference between a Muslim and a non-Muslim. Non-Muslims have relationships outside of marriage. And then when they get married, nothing's there. Because what is it? It's just a paper. We done did all this. But with Muslims, we don't mess around. We don't play around. We get married. So I may not be in love with you. But, you know, now that we're married and I know my role as a wife, I know that you are my leader in life. You are my king. You are my leader. This can help to help develop admiration and love for each other. And the little simple things, you'll look at the simple things that person does that'll cause you to respect him, which causes you to love him more. The simple fact that he'll call and check on you. He's at work, but every day at a certain time, your husband calls and checks on you to see how you're doing. Oh, wow, he cares about me. You know, that helps to foster harmony. It helps to build trust. He didn't just marry me for sex. That's what a lot of sisters say. I think the brother just married me for sex, Laila, because he don't call me. I don't see him, especially the brothers that do polygamy. You got 2, 3, 4 wives. This sister, you marry her and she don't hear from you until it's her time. Come on now, that's not cool. You making her feel used. You making her feel that all she was a mattress. But the simple fact that you call her, even though it's not her night, you still call and check on her like the prophet did. The prophet used to visit all his wives every night before he went into the house of the woman whose turn it was. He would make Isha at the mosque, and then he would start with the oldest wife first. That was Sauda. And he would go and spend maybe 30 minutes checking on her to ask her how she was, how the kids are, does anybody need anything, asking her about her day. Then he'd go to the next wife's house, then the next wife's house, not spending too much time to raise suspicions. And then he would, whoever night it was, he would save her for last. And he'd stay with her for the night. How many of you polygamy brothers do that? You know, a woman ain't no mattress. So show respect for your wives. Call and check on her. Send her a text message, even though it's not her day. You know, Assalamu alaikum. How you doing? How's the kids? Everything okay? Do you need anything? I love you, and keep it moving. And for you sisters, you know, the same thing. Respect the fact that this brother's working. Even if you're in a polygamy situation, this is not your night. Send him a text message. Assalamu alaikum. I was thinking about you today. How are you? That helps to bring about a more communication, trust, and intimacy. And also you should respect your husband, because everything belittling or disrespecting him can tarnish your reputation as a family. It can make everyone in the house miserable, including the children. And again, respect your husband, because it sets a good example for the children. You got sons that you're raising. You want your sons to learn that this is what their wives should do for them. And also your daughters. Showing respect to your husband is showing your daughters how to be, training your daughters or teaching them how to be good wives too when they get married. And also, since the man is the head of the household, showing respect for him will help to protect everybody's emotional well-being. So again, guys, as a daya, I mean, I get all the questions and emails. You know, we have to learn to respect each other. Tonight, we're talking about the husband. How many of us show actual respect to him? You know, how many of us tell him, you know, thank you. Thank you for how you go to work, how you make sure that all of us have what we need, even when you're sick, even when you're fasting. Thank you. You know, a man likes that. He likes to feel appreciated, just like you do. How many of us tell our husband, I'm so proud of you, because you look at us. Look what we're doing together. I'm proud of you for having the strength to deal with the outside world and still come home to us and give us the best of you too. Respect. All right, I'm going to stop right here. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Are there any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? Yeah, you knew shahadas. By the way, guys, I did put out some shorts. Sorry. I did put out some shorts from my Q&A. The questions you guys asked, those, that was the hardest Q&A. The questions about marriage, I made some shorts. I made the short of Sheikh Atlee giving his answer about how you women cannot just jump up and get married because your husband divorced you. You have to honor the waiting period. You have to honor the waiting period. The waiting period is not just to see if you're pregnant. A lot of women don't get pregnant. Your husband has the right to take you back twice. He has the right to take you back. That's the purpose of that waiting period. You got Sheikh Atlee's comment out there on that. Okay. And also the other questions y'all ask, I put mine out about how you women, you new shahadas. Are you a taster? Are you a female taster? Make sure y'all listen to that short. Listen to what the prophet said about the female taster. Are you a taster? Because a lot of you women are. And you making us look bad. You giving a bad name. These Muslim 2.0. That's what's that? Muslim 2.0. The Muslim 2.0 woman is giving Islamic women a bad look and a bad name because too many of you are tasters. I ain't no taster. You're making me look bad because y'all playing around with marriage. You playing around with the laws of Allah. You're transgressing his limits. So make sure y'all look at the shorts I put out. Go to my YouTube channel, click under the short tab, and you will see I put about 6 or 7 out from my Q&A. And also the answer I gave about a person doing DNR, that answer is out, and also that other one. All right. Okay, I want to stop right here. Tomorrow is Monday, and tomorrow we have my 6:30 class, and we have Jamali changed it. We got my 6:30 class, and we have Brother Muhammad Ziada and Dr. Jamali at 7:30. And then we have my prayer class. I'm going to talk about the things that break the prayer. Okay? All right. So, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.